guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Gen 3 pickleball paddles have changed the sport forever, but there's just one problem. They cost a fortune. Today, that changes. You're about to see how we're pushing paddle technology to the limit, traveled halfway across the world, and how we created the only Gen 3 paddle under $100. And just for our YouTube audience, we're giving away one Friday Fever for free at the end of the video. You probably want to know, why didn't Friday release any of these paddles? We haven't released a paddle in over a year, but we were adamant that we wanted to take this serious. That's why we tested over 100 paddles, and check out the proof. We have so many paddles littering our garages, our houses. It's hard to keep track of the paddles we're testing. That's how serious we took this, and we finally found the perfect paddle, the Friday Fever.
But don't take his word for it. Scott with the Friday team here, fresh off a 5.0 PPA victory with this very paddle. So if you think that a budget paddle is gonna hold you back at the highest level, you could not be more wrong. TJ and I were out there hitting every shot in the book with this paddle. Big serves, big returns, big drives, crafty speed ups, everything you could ever want on the pickleball court. Let me tell you 3 things that make this paddle great. First, there's an additional ring of foam around the top part of the paddle that allows for greater dwell time. Why is dwell time important? Gives you more spin, gives you more power, more pop. Second best thing about this paddle is the multi-layered carbon fiber face that enhances spin, allows you to get the ball up and down when you need it. Third thing, the designs. I mean, look at this paddle, it's beautiful. Clearly I love color. You can coordinate your outfit, whatever you want.
When we first started this process 7 months ago, I was a fan of the more power, the better. We have to compete with everyone else. We have to have the most amount of power possible. And as we started testing, we realized there is an amount of power that's too much to even control. And the reason we're so obsessed with the Fever is because it truly is the perfect blend of power and control. It's a Gen 3 paddle, so you're gonna immediately notice pop in your counters and in your drives, while also being 16 millimeters and having plenty of control. I used to think that power and control were on opposite ends of the spectrum. You couldn't have both. But take my word for it, this paddle does have both of them.
But don't take his word for it. For all my paddle nerds out there, the swing weight comes in the low 110s, which is fantastic for an elongated paddle. This is excellent in hands battles, feeling super quick at the net. It's also great if you've ever dealt with tennis elbow. Super light in the hands, very maneuverable. The twist weight out of the box is just under 6, but when you throw a little weight on this, it brings it up to around 6.5, increases the sweet spot, makes the paddle just feel super stable and great in the hands. But hey, don't take my word for it. Isaac is 7,000 miles away at our factory doing some important testing.
Ready?
Oh my God! Oh, sorry, wrong kind of testing. Isaac, tell them why we're so excited about this paddle.
When Gen 3 paddles hit the market, there was one big issue, and that was durability. Why spend $300 on a paddle if it's only gonna last you a few playing sessions? When we decided to launch a Gen 3 paddle, we wanted to make sure it held up over time. That's why we flew halfway across the world to check out this cannon and use it on the Fever. This thing literally launches balls at 100+ miles per hour, straight into the paddle face, over and over and over again. We did this with the Fever to see if there was gonna be any core crushing, and we're thrilled to say that this paddle is gonna hold up over time. And as you can see, there is absolutely no core crushing going on here. Other Gen 3 paddles' cores are completely smashed. What happens is these cells compress. What that means is unpredictable performance and ultimately an illegal paddle that you can no longer use. So hopefully you guys can see why we are so excited about this paddle. It's gonna last you a long time and it's gonna play really, really well over that time period. Now, back to Scott.
Hey, don't take his word for it. Jake, tell them about that last-minute adjustment we made to this paddle.
We've talked a lot about the benefits of the paddle. One thing we haven't touched on yet is the weight, and this is such a benefit if you're a high-level player. So this comes in at about 7.75 ounces, give or take. And why we like the slightly lighter paddle is because what you can do with it later. I probably don't need to tell most of you this, but the more weight that you can add to the paddle, yes, it's gonna slow your hands down, but at the same time, it's also gonna expand the sweet spot. So if you start with a lighter weight paddle, you're kind of getting the best best of both worlds, where you can put some weight in the corners. You're adding power, you're maximizing the sweet spot, while also keeping it at a comfortable weight in your hand to still compete in hands battles. Hey, but don't take my word for it. Isaac, tell them about how we made these paddles, you know, without giving too much away.
The process to make these Friday Fevers is actually way more complex than you think. One of the parts in the process is taking these very heavy molds and thermoforming the paddles. After the Fevers are in the molds, they are then tossed in to these massive ovens. These ovens are baking at 350 degrees. Ultimately, what they do is fuse all of these components together to make sure that you get a durable paddle that's not gonna fall apart on you. The process doesn't stop there though. There is so much technology that goes into this, and there is quality control every step of the way.
Well, don't take his word for it. If you can't tell, we are so excited about this paddle. We have put so much time, effort, and thought into this paddle. Literally have spent 9 months doing it, so it's basically our child, and today we are giving birth to this fever to you. We are so confident that you're gonna love this paddle, but we still have our 99-day happiness guarantee, even though you're probably not gonna need it. And I know I've said this a lot, but you do not have to take my word for it. We have given several people early access to this paddle, and here is what they are saying. People are absolutely loving the fever. Nobody can believe that we're selling this for $99. As always on this channel, we're giving away a paddle. Here's who won last week, and this week we're giving away a brand new Fever. So comment Fever below to be entered to win this new paddle. These things are gonna be selling like hotcakes, so go to FridayPickle.com to get yours today. Ultrasound shows Fever. See the little balls?
You see that? That's a fever.
That's a Fever.